everything feels so abstract. Yeah, it's complicated. What you say, the way you act, well, it makes me so confused. I don't know what to do anymore. Can't you just make up your mind? My heart drops when you play around. How can you be up when I'm down? Don't wanna think about it right now. Maybe you just wanna be friends, but there's a fight when we are talking. Maybe you just wanna pretend, but I can read between the lines. Even if I can't deny that all the things you say are hurting, still wanna be with you. I think you want it too. 'Cause baby, I don't wanna be. Baby, I don't wanna be. No, baby, I don't wanna be. Baby, I don't wanna be. How it hurts to see you smile, like a dagger in me. She just seems so juvenile. I just want it to be me. I wanna set your world on fire. Oh, just so sure I'll stick around. Oh, my heart drops when you play around. How can you be up when I'm down? Don't wanna think about it right now. Maybe you just wanna be friends, but there's a fight when we are talking. Maybe you just wanna pretend, but I can read between the lines. Even if I can't deny that all the things you say are hurting, still wanna be with you. I think you want it too. 'Cause baby, I don't wanna be. Baby, I don't wanna be. Oh, even if I can't deny that all the things you say are hurting, still wanna be with you. I think you want it too. 'Cause baby, I don't wanna be. No, baby, I don't wanna be. No, baby, I don't wanna be. Baby, I don't wanna be.
Well, hey everybody, welcome. We're ready to bring on Christmas. I even have my advent calendar behind me. I'll get back to talking about that in a minute, but welcome. So for those of you who don't know, I'm Erin Reed from Erin Reed Makes, and these are the cards I made. I did a 2-for-1 kind of a card. So this was the first one. We did the cut file with the background, this cool little snowflake, and then cut out the Merry Christmas. And then I also did this one here, which was, we did the ink blending, putting the background on there so you can see that snowflake, and then we ink blended on top of that. And then I did a contrasting color of the Merry Christmas on top of that. Wow, that just really fits right over top of my face, doesn't it? So it's kind of like a 2-for-1 card. You only had to cut the background element one time, and then you ink blend it on top of that, and then you put the Merry Christmas on top. So I'm double dutying. Normally I'm behind the scenes doing all of the questions at the same time. So I'm going to be earmarking the questions, and I already see a couple that have come up. I'm going to answer one that actually somebody emailed me earlier today. So let me jump into it. So I used the Catherine Pooler inks, and let me first say, you can use whatever inks you want. I love my Catherine Poolers. I'm going to do a little side thing right there. So these are my Catherine Pooler inks right there. I have run out of room, so I need to figure out a way to, maybe I need to like move this and make a second tier to make my inks, because I just keep collecting them because they're great inks. They're perfect for ink blending. They are nice and juicy. They're great for stamping. They're good for a lot of stuff. But whatever inks you have, go for it. And I love my blending brushes. So the question that goes with this is, do you need to have an ink? Do you need to have a blending brush for every color of ink? And the answer is yes, but no. I have a color of blending brush for every ink family. So I have a red, but it goes for all the tones of red. I have a blue, but for like, I have a dark blue and a light blue because I don't want to mix those two. I have for the green family. I have for the yellows, for the oranges, for black, for brown, and so forth. So as you can tell, I have a plethora of them. They sell them in sets on Amazon, and you can get them as like ranges of 15. And every now and then I'm like, ooh, I'm missing a color. So I have some of them. Like I use teal a lot. So I put this little marker thing on there. You know, I got that from a company online on Etsy. And it kind of helped give me, like, if I had an oddball color, because I had, you only need so many peaches, but I have extra peach ones. And so it's a way to kind of get around it by putting, and you could do it like a piece of washi tape or something around it that's a close enough color that you could expand it out. And then the second part of that question that she asked via email was, do you ever clean your blending brushes? And the answer is nope, never. And because I only ever use it for these inks, if I was going to mix it and I was going to do like distress inks and oxides and everything else, I would use special blending brushes for each type of ink. But since I only ever use the Catherine Poolers for ink blending, I'm not jumping around between different types of inks, then I'm not worried about that. So hopefully that answers that question. Okay, there was another starred question I had. All right, so Alexandria says, can I use alcohol ink pens in place of the ink blenders? Sure. So you're not going to get, this is the caveat to that. If you wanted to take and place your layer on top, put this on top. If you wanted to take like your cutout layer, so like the snowflake layer, place that on top, and then place it very carefully, and then color over top, and just being careful not to go underneath, and just being cautious as you're coloring it. You could do ink blending, you could do coloring on top, you could do whatever you want. You could do spray mists on top of that. However you want to add color to that, by all means. You don't even have to do rainbow. You could do you could do a singular color. You can make them all red. You can make them all blue. You can make them all green. You could just do monotone and do variations of one color, sets of greens or whatever you like. So try it. What's the worst you're going to do if it doesn't work out? You've wasted a little bit of paper and time. Ooh. So not too worried about that one. Okay. Next question. This one's Cattywampus Crafter. Hello. I always love that name. How you doing? All right. What's the biggest difference you found between the Cricut Design Space and the Locklick software? Ooh, thanks, Harriet. Okay. So in terms of the software design, because I started in Cricut, I found the design software very easy to use on Locklick. That's the machine I use. It's the same parent company as the one that's called HDV Ront. They are in the sublimation world. They have the heat presses, and I have a few of their heat presses. I found the machine to be wonderful. The biggest thing that is why I like it a whole lot better, and I even have a video on my computer or on my YouTube channel, that I had the biggest problem. I would connect my Cricut to my computer and it wouldn't connect. It wouldn't read. It wouldn't read via Bluetooth. It wouldn't read via direct connection. It would give me these errors. I found a way around it. And then I ended up having to use my laptop because it didn't want to connect to my main computer. And I had it it was just a nightmare. And I was always like, every time I design something and I go to connect my Cricut to my computer, was it going to connect, or was I going to get an error? Was it going to have a problem? And I was just doing the fingers crossed issue. I've never had that problem at all, ever, with this new machine. And I've had it for almost a year now. So with the Cricut, I had it for 6 months and I was getting the problem all the time. And there was no solution, hence why I made the video. And to this day, I made that video 4 years ago. I'm still getting people messaging me on that YouTube video going, thank you so much for the solution, because it wouldn't connect and the solution they had didn't work for me. And anyway, so if you ever have problems, you can check out my YouTube channel for a solution. Like if you can't get it to connect and it's giving you this code, I think 14 error or whatever it is, I have a solution for you on that one. It's a bear, but so in that respect, I like it a whole lot more. And then I had the rollers on my Cricut completely disintegrate. So now I can't even use it anymore anyway. It drives me nuts. All right. Is it within the lunchtime window in the West? Maybe it's more, there you go. We're lunch. That's why nobody's on right now. We were talking about where is everybody earlier. Okay. I'm going to scroll down and see if there's any more questions. Okay. What's the gauge of the cardstock used for your stencil? So I use the same paper for everything. I'm going to go grab it. I get this question asked all the time. This. And I know a lot of people say, well, that's a really thick cardstock for putting on your, to cut. But I've just found the right setting for mine. And what I'm going to tell you on mine, and again, here's another thing I'm going to say about this particular design amazing design thing with Unlock Click is I can go in and I can go, oh, I just want a tiny bit more pressure in the design studio, or I want to pass that one more time. I want to go 3 times around. And I just it's like a little button I push and it does it automatically, which is very similar to the Silhouette Studio design and how they function in terms of the cutting. So I don't have to worry about what kind of paper. If it doesn't cut the first time, I just tweak it and I'll go in and I'll tweak it again. I know what the setting is now for this particular paper because I've cut it enough times. And I also don't want it to be too flimsy because I'm going to be ink blending on top of it and acting like a stencil, but then using it as paper. But I use this paper for everything. I do ink blending on it. I do coloring on it, die cutting with it, fun folds with it. It's my card bases. It's everything. It's all across the board. All right. Oh, somebody's making a comment about Amazon has great prices on the brushes. I was just actually looking that up because I was replying back to the person's email, and I found a set of the brushes like these where they're already like all the colors, and I believe it was a set of, no, I already closed it out. It was a set of like 16 brushes for like $12.99. And here's the other thing: be careful when you order brushes. If you order blending brushes, there is different head sizes. Like you can see, I like this size better than I like this size. Every now and then a smaller one's handy, but I am not a fan of the smaller. I like the little bit bigger ones. Everybody's different. I don't like the giant ones. These ones I feel like are completely useless. Like, I don't get it. But that's just me. It came in a pack that I got once. But I love this size. Like, this side's perfect. It's like the size of your thumb. Like, that's kind of how, like, the gauge. So, thumb size. That's what you're going for here. Now I got to find the little hole thing. There it is. All right. Here's another question. I'm just rolling through. Do I have any events coming up you can share? Ooh, I do. All right. So I actually just launched this a couple of days ago, and I'm going to put the link up. So a few times a year, I have my card swaps that I do. And so my most current swap, the Christmas card swap, just came to an end because I like to get the cards out well before Christmas and everybody gets a chance to get their cards back. But popular demand, everybody wanted to do a Valentine's Day one. So I just put it out there. I'm going to put the link down below. I will give you, I haven't done the video on it yet to give all the information, but I just put the link in the group. It should be popping up. There it goes. And I haven't done the video, but all the information is on the site. But the basics are, it's A2 size cards, handmade, anything that you want to put on there. And Valentine's Day, in my mind, is anything that says love, hearts, a traditional Valentine's Day card. And there's a second theme, which is birthday. So if you don't want to do anything to do with Valentine's Day, you want to just do birthday, that is fine. Must be A2 size card. Either it's batches of 10, or you can send me 20. They all come to me. I swap them around and I mail them back. And whatever, it's totally random what you get back. So just because you sent me birthday does not mean you get birthday back, because I can't guarantee what cards get sent to me because we're doing 2 different themes. And then I do videos on them so you can see all the amazing cards that get sent to me and all the cool techniques that are part of it too. So if you're interested in doing a card swap, you can check that down below. All the dates and all the information. Nothing is due until after Christmas. But if you're wanting to do a little something, because Valentine's Day is right around the corner. Since Christmas is over, it's bam, it's Valentine's Day. And it's another fun day to do cards, right? Kind of cool. All right. You're just full of questions today, aren't you? All right, that's great. I love questions. What are your best tips for somebody wanting to start creating their own SVGs? Just start trying. Just get out there and start trying. One of the easiest programs to go out there and just kind of play around and do some pretty basic shapes, seriously, and it's free, is Canva. Canva is phenomenal for just playing around with stuff. And then you can start getting, and again, it's free. And then you can start getting into the little higher, you can go to Inkscape, which is free. And if you're already in Silhouette, you can play in that. There's a ton of other programs that are out there, but those 2 programs are free. So there's nothing that you have to spend a lot of money or invest a lot of stuff into just by poking around and kind of playing around with that. And then you can upload that into whatever design software. Make sure you're downloading it as an SVG, and then you can see, oh, did it cut? Did it work the way I wanted it to? And it's just, it's just playing. And if that's not your jam, don't worry about it. It's not for everybody to want to sit there and design and come up with all the stuff. But if you are, that's a good place to start. Oh, here's another one. Karen has asked, where did I get my pouncers? So I got these pouncers from a company called Picket Fence Studios, and they look like this. And they have these little funny looking things like this. And Picket Fence Studios, I believe, is kind of shutting down everything on their store and their site. And they didn't go to the last Creativation last year. They made like they had these beautiful booths for a few years, and then they didn't come last year. And their site says everything like 70% off, and that looks like they're kind of paring down. And but you can find the exact same scenario on Amazon for pretty inexpensive, and it's got the entire like rainbow of colors plus gray, black, and brown. So it's got, I think it's like 16 different colors for like, again, like $12. So it's a pretty good price. There's big ones and there's also little mini ones, which storage wise, I think the mini ones are a much better scenario. And if I had to pick between the two, like if I was like, this is just me, if I had to be like, which is the better option budget wise, I would go blending brushes first. But there's also really cool uses for pouncers. So like, I find uses for both. But if I had to pick between which my budget would be, and store's a little easier, that would be better. All right, looking for next questions. Next questions. Are you in the Northwest area? Like, I'm not sure if that's to me. I'm in Texas. I had a question, but couldn't wait for a session to ask. Oh my goodness. Finger pouncers are best. So I understand that like, there's a lot of people that, and I understand I have them. Like they're the little things that fit on your fingers. There's also like the foam blending brushes. And then there's like the felt ones. So Ranger has those felt ones. I destroy those. And the finger ones, because they tend to be kind of foamy, I destroy them. Like, I don't know if I am just like too rough and tough on my products, which is why I like the brushes, because they're brushes. I can't seem to destroy them. And the foam ones and the finger pouncers, I annihilate those. I don't know what I do. I don't get it. Something about how I craft, and I have a whole crap ton of them. And maybe it's also just too small. I don't know. But for me personally, I obliterate them. And it's like I get one use out of it for making a card for the one color, and it's toast. Like it's half torn and not personally for me. For you, might be perfect. For me, I am not my jam. I just can't. Anybody else? Oh my goodness. Because yeah, it's just if the finger things are your thing, rock on, but not me. I just so there's a whole bunch of different ones, and I do know, I will have to caveat that there are ones that go in your finger. There was a company, and I think there's a couple of different companies that came out with them that have, I think it is it is oh shoot, Pink and Main. I think it's Pink and Main, but they have ones that are like a stackable set, and they're little brushes that go on your finger, and it's like really nice and like super compact. If there is I've never played with them and I haven't tried them, but that I could get behind because I can't destroy the brush. The foam, it's gone. It just disintegrates on me. So you need to probably pounce a little. Yeah, see, and maybe that's why I like this, but I want to blend, and I will pounce with these, but I like the blending action better. And that's why I think I tend to lean more towards this versus this. Not that I don't like these, but these are also a little bit more sturdy than I think the little foamy things. But again, that's just me. And I don't think I'm alone, because there's somebody else on here that says that they destroy them too. So haha. And I don't want to buy something or use something that I feel like I'm going to have to replace because I'm destroying it after one use. And I also found like I'm a little bit of a stronger crafter. I have a little more oomph to my craft. I'm like it. I just know my limits and I know what works for me. So it's all good. It's all good. It's all good. It's all good. Okay, so I want to talk a little bit about the calendar behind me. This is just kind of fun. So it's because we're getting into Christmas and it's just been a ton of fun. I just had a video that went live on my YouTube channel and it's been going bananas and bonkers. Is anybody else into advent calendars right now? Because I absolutely love advent calendars. They are just the best thing ever. And so I had a video that went up about all the different crafty advent calendars. Shout out if you are an advent calendar person. And have you gotten like a crafty one? Like Spellbinders has one. I've heard that Pink and Main has one. I have heard that there was another one. There's a couple other crafting companies that had one. And there was some that I didn't know about them until I left the information in the comments. And I was like, oh, that is so cool. So, and then there's like get outside of paper crafting. And then there's the art ones. And so and I reviewed and unboxed it. I didn't unbox every single one. But if you're curious about some of the fun and funky art and crafty advent calendars out there, I will put the link to the video up there so you can take a look. Copy. Here we go. But it's fun. And I would also love to know if you know of a really good advent calendar out there. Like I am always wanting to know some fun ones that are available out there. So let me know if you know of a good one out there, because I'm always like, it's just one of those things. It's a novelty thing. You have a quilted one with pockets. That's fun. This is one that I made when I was in my 12th. I didn't make the background part. I did all the ornaments on it when I was in my 20s. And it's like a busilicate that was like, my mother-in-law had one that she made in the 70s that my husband did. And every day the kids would put one, like a little ornament, they would pull it out of the pockets. And then my sister-in-law made, because there's 4 of them in the family, made all the kids, because we were all in our 20s. And I just married my husband, and they made, everybody got one for Christmas. And then I went in and she had like that puffy paint for all of the ornaments, but the original one that my mother-in-law had like hand stitched and like the sequins and the beads and some embroidery on it. And I was like, oh, those look so pretty. So over the course of the next couple of years, I have redid all the ornaments with the hand stitching, and I kept this is all puffy paint on there, but I had so much fun doing that. So we still use this one to this day. I just haven't put it away yet. But yeah, well, Gina K's got one too. Oh, that's cool. See, I didn't know about the Gina K one. And I know that Spellbinders does, like, I just put it over there, but they also have their Stitchmas one, and then they have their crafty one, which is kind of cool. And then there's so many ones out there. Oh, and then Lucy Foxworth has an advent calendar made for mini houses. That is fine. It's like you put it together from a SVG file. That is cool. Speaking of which, also on my website, I have a free advent calendar. So every day you open it up and you can get a free print file or an SVG file, one for every day. It's a 12 days. So let me pull that up for you guys. So if you're just wanting a fun advent calendar, it's an extra freebie you guys can go get. Let me grab that extra little bonus for everybody. If you haven't gotten it already, let me pop that into, there we go. Ta-da! So if you wanted to get just another something fun, you download the whole thing, it's in one folder, and then you open the folder up, and each day is a folder. You would like day 1, day 2, day 3. So you'd open up a new folder every day, and there would be the new file that would be in the folder. So if you're interested in that, by all means, go and grab that, totally free. And there's also a paid version if you want to grab that too, but you don't have to. Just enjoy the free one if you'd like. Anyway, if there's any other questions, I know we're kind of getting towards the end of our time. Thank you, everybody, for joining. I'll be watching the rest of your comments. We do have one more person coming in, one more speaker coming in later this afternoon. I believe she's in about an hour. And I'll be behind the scenes looking at her questions. Please ask questions. And I've been telling all the speakers once they're done to go back and to take a look at the videos, the replays, the next day, because the live comments are not there right away. But within like 5 or 6 hours, the replay comments do repopulate up on the screen. And they can see if we missed any questions that might have been asked. And so then they can answer them in the comments for everybody. So, or you can ask questions in the comments if you're watching on the replay. So us speakers are going back and looking at it again, and I will be looking tomorrow and answering any questions anybody might have. So have an amazing day. I'll be behind the scenes looking at all everybody's questions for our next speaker, and I hope everybody is having a ton of fun. And post those pictures if you've made any of the projects from the summit. Post the pictures in the Facebook group or anywhere you like, and tag us speakers. We love seeing our projects just recreated, and however you have morphed it into whatever direction, because it's always kind of fun to see what tweak or difference, or like, how did you go in a different way? And it's all kinds of fun. So have a wonderful day, and I will see everybody later. Bye.